you, Lesroy. I would first want to give a brief overview of the vaccination situation at the prison, just to get our statistics straight. There are 179 inmates at the prison, Her Majesty's Prison, of which 89 have been vaccinated. That is just about 50%. 64 of that 89 have been fully vaxxed with their 2 doses, and 25 have had 1 dose. Among the staff, there are 70 staff members in St. Kitts HMP, and 52 have been vaccinated, roughly 74%. While in Nevis, there are 19 staff members, of which 9 have been vaccinated. This is just around, 69%. When, a few weeks ago, we understood that, or we learned that inmates had tested positive for COVID-19, as the CMO said, the total at that time was around 40. Immediately at the prison, the Commissioner of Corrections met with myself, Mr. Saunders, General Saunders, the NSA, and we put in place a number of mechanisms. The main prison hall was divided into 2 sections, where the 40 inmates who were positive were totally isolated from the rest of the prison population. And it worked. There was no contact whatsoever between those who were tested positive and the other inmates. But testing continued, and as we learned yesterday, 13 other inmates returned positive results. I want to stress that those 13 were not in any way contaminated for the previous 40 because they were isolated. The important point to note, though, is that the first 40 have now tested negative with their first test recently, and they're getting the second test, and hopefully all of them will be confirmed negative again, which means that they can be moved out of the isolation section at the prison. I've said to the Commissioner of Correction that we will not put them back immediately with the other prisoners, but we will sanitize a few cells and keep them by themselves for a few days still, even though they will be tested negative, so that we make sure that there is no possibility of contamination. And so as it stands, hopefully within the next day or so, there will only be 15 positive inmates at the prison. We have asked the Ministry of Health for PPE supplies, and I'm pleased that I reached out to the PS of Health, Mrs. Dr. Dolores Stapleton Harris, and I'm pleased that today or yesterday and continue today, we picked up about 300 PPE suits, a quantity of sanitizing liquid and so on to be used at the prison. And so the prison is coping very well with the COVID-19 isolation. The numbers are down. It's only 15, and we hope that even though testing will continue, that it will stay and keep going down. I want to say that there's absolutely no reason for panic at the prison, that everything is under control, that those who have tested positive have been totally isolated. There is a building at the prison which was recently built in the compound, about two or three floors. One floor is dedicated to cells, and there are about 25 prisoners in there who are negative, and every effort is being made to keep them totally isolated from all the other prisoners at Her Majesty's Prison. The staff, as we've learned, there are 6 active cases at this moment, and we continue to encourage staff to be vaccinated. As I said, it's just about 70% average who have been vaccinated so far, and we'll continue our efforts to encourage the staff at the prison to be vaccinated. Thank you.